Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I will finally be talking about my no-buy year. So I've been kind of teasing about it and talking about it in my previous videos, and I sort of have been putting it off because, in my brain it's like, well, if I don't talk about it and I don't do the video and I don't tell anybody about it, then it's not real and it's not really happening. But as soon as I do the video and I share it and I tell everybody about it, then it's real, then I'm committed to it. So that's just how my brain works. But today we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to share with you my personal rules for the no-buy year, kind of my reasons for doing so, and things that I'm using to help me sort of be successful in that. So if that sounds interesting, stay tuned. If you enjoy this video at any point, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And if you like me, or you're interested in watching my journey through my no-buy year, and you're interested in beauty content and kind of whatever randomness, nails, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the alarm bell so that you don't miss an upload. So let's talk about my no-buy year. First, if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes, because it was a lot to remember. So I needed to kind of have my thoughts gathered so that I made sure to kind of address everything. First and foremost, I know everybody kind of does no buy differently. Some people call it a low buy, some people call it a no buy, some people call it replacement, whatever. I'm just calling it a no buy only because in my brain that my brain works more like finite. So it's not that I'm not gonna be buying anything all year. It's more so a means for me to sort of change my habits around my spending and the way I look at my possessions, and kind of rewire my brain and change my habits. So my mantra for this year is minimize and maintain control. So it's exactly what it sounds like. I want to minimize the amount of things that are in my possession. The more things you have, the more time is committed to caring for those things, curating those things. And that's a lot of mental load. So I kind of want to bring that mental load down and just not have as much stuff laying around. And then maintaining control. I've gotten a little bit better at this over the last year, trying to just kind of understand what I have, using the things that I do have so they don't just sit in the back of a cupboard somewhere and go bad. That's been something that's kind of been a struggle for me, is my things, buying new things and I want to use the new thing, but then like the other stuff sits in the back and it just goes to waste. And at the beginning of 2022, I had a period of time where I was decluttering. I tend to do that at the beginning of every year. And I just found a ton of stuff that I hadn't used, and it was bad, and I couldn't give it to anybody else, and I couldn't use it myself, so I had to go to the garbage. And it just kind of opened my eyes a little bit and kind of made me want to change my habits. So let's just jump right into the rules. And again, I'm looking down at my notes because that's a lot to remember. So the first rule talks about the categories that are included in this, which is basically everything. So no clothing or accessories, beauty products, that includes hair care, skin care, nail products, makeup, obviously, any kind of beauty product. That does include hair dyeing products, because I do dye my hair, so that's included in that as well. Supplements, so vitamins and other like miscellaneous supplements that I take. That was one of the categories at the beginning of this year that I had bought a whole bunch of stuff, and then a lot of it sat and I didn't actually take it. I hadn't created the habits I needed to create in order to use those products up, so those went to waste. And so that was kind of frustrating for me. So supplements is one of those things where I'm sort of trying to streamline. I don't want to take a handful of pills in the morning and a handful of pills at night. I want to find products that include the supplements that I need and the vitamins that I need, so I can take less but get what I want out of my supplementation. So supplements, housewares, that's anything, pillows, sheets, dishware, utensils, cookware, anything that could be included in a housewares category. Craft supplies. I love to craft. My daughter loves to craft. Now, my daughter's not included in this. This is just for me. but I have a lot of craft supplies. And once again, it's one of those things where I want the new shiny thing, or I see a craft that I want to try. And instead of digging through all the stuff I already have, I just go to the store and buy the things that I need for that craft, even if I may already have something that would suit that purpose. So I kind of want to nip that in the bud too, but crafting supplies is a big one for me. And books. I'm not a huge purchaser of physical books. I use the Libby app, and I do like check out books. I go to the library and check out books. I use Audible, so those are technically purchased books, but I do go through those and I use those. So Audible is not included in that. I'm talking about buying physical books. I went through kind of a period where I just bought a ton, and I love them. I love all of my books, but I do have a finite amount of space in my home, and I don't want to be buying a ton of things and then have to get rid of things because I don't have room. So I included books in that. My rules for those categories would be that I can only replace or replenish those items when there is no other acceptable alternative. So for things like body lotion, I have so much body lotion. I probably honestly won't have to buy body lotion at all this year. And I'm not exaggerating. That's how much body lotion I have. So, or maybe way far into the year. So instead of, oh, this brand that I really like is having a sale, so I'm going to buy a few and put it in backstock, I am going to resist the temptation to load up on those things and just buy it when I run out. And that's going to be really hard for me because I do have some brands that I love, and most of them are affordable, but I want to save money. But my mindset and thought process is that if I'm only buying one thing as I need it, overall, I'm going to save more money than I would if I load up on a ton of stuff several times a year, So that's kind of where my head is at, and I'm hoping that will pan out. So and then I'm going to work through all of my backstock. And once I've worked through all of my backstock on a particular category of items, I do not want to have a backstock of those things. So again, specifically like supplements and makeup products and skincare products. Skincare products especially, they tend to go bad pretty quickly, and I don't want to waste things. So my goal is to not have a backstock of items and just purchase them as I need them. So now I do have one kind of caveat rule, and that is that I am allowed to declutter an item if it is what's the word I want to use? An unenjoyable, an unpleasant user experience. So if it's like a foundation or something and it is the wrong shade, or I feel like the formula is breaking me out, or perhaps it's gone off, then I am allowed to declutter that item. And if it's the last one in a category, like foundations, if it's my last foundation, which I have so many foundations, there's no way that'll happen this year, but hypothetically, I would be allowed to declutter that item and purchase a new one. Part of the goal of this challenge, I guess I'll call it a challenge, is that I want to enjoy my things. I want to learn to appreciate what I have, to see what I have, and rewire my brain to enjoy using the things that I already own instead of chasing the new shiny thing. But if the thing I'm using and the thing that's already in my possession is an unenjoyable user experience, I'm going to be far more tempted to purchase something new, and it's just not going to be fun. So that's kind of why I put that caveat in there. I don't want to hate pan, I guess is a fun word. I follow the Project Pan community, and I may do that at some point this year. I'm not sure. But I don't want to be using a product that I hate just to use it up and to say I used it up. I'll give it the college try. I'll try and use it up. But if it's genuinely unenjoyable, then I will declutter that. And if it's the last one, I'll buy a new one. So I'm going to give myself that kind of get out of jail free card. I do have another caveat for like health and safety concerns. So in clothing, I live in a cold climate. I live in Wyoming. It's cold and windy. If there's an item that I need in order to safely and enjoyably live here, so like a cold weather item, like a jacket or boots or snow pants or something, and I don't have that item in my possession, or the item that I have is worn out and it can't be used anymore safely or enjoyably, I will buy a new item in that. So I did want to kind of make that caveat too, because there will be things like I probably won't need to buy a hat or a beanie or something, but Snow pants wear out. I mean, we use our stuff. I use my boots. I have backyard chickens, so I spend time outside with them. I use those types of items on a regular basis, and they do get worn out. Same thing with like, I have like garden shoes. Those get really worn out. They get so nasty and gross. And so I want to be able to buy new ones if I need them so that they're still an enjoyable item to use. So that's another kind of caveat. Also, I did put on here that I can receive gifts, and that's not like I'm going to ask people to buy it for me if I need it. That's not to kind of, you know, give me an escape on that one. But it's like, if somebody gives me a gift, I genuinely want to be able to enjoy it. So I don't want to feel guilty for taking in an item when it was something that somebody gave to me. So, and then I can also buy gifts. So I participate in a Bunko group. If you know what Bunko is, it's super fun. It's a dice game. But anyway, we meet once a month, and part of that is that everybody brings a small gift every time. So I do want to be able to continue to participate in that. So we will give myself some leniency on that. I can buy Christmas gifts, birthday gifts for my family, things like that. I'm able to buy gifts for others. Okay, I got a phone call, so I apologize if the frame is a little bit different or anything is a little bit different. And I don't exactly remember where I left off, but I think I left off on buying gifts for others. So I genuinely enjoy buying presents for people. So I don't want to go crazy, obviously, and I'm not prone to that type of thing, like going too crazy on those. But I did want to make sure I wrote that down for myself so that I know it's okay for me to buy gifts for other people. My final rule is that any gift cards that I receive are to be treated as cash, and that the rules apply to those. I can't just go like on a spending spree just because I got, you know, a Sephora gift card or something. But, and I kind of already, so let's move into my why and kind of my reasons for doing this. And I already touched on it a little bit at the beginning, but my biggest why is that I really want to change my habits, and I want to shift my mindset around my consumption of items, my purchasing of items, and my spending overall. So my husband and I have some financial goals, and one of them being debt reduction. And so I really want to focus on knowing where my money goes, and I want to be able to streamline where my money goes. And I also want to focus more on saving over spending. I want to make sure I'm saving more money than, maybe not more than I'm spending, but I want to save over spend, essentially. And I also want to be able to give like more charitable giving. I work for a nonprofit, and I know how important it is. Our donors are so important to our mission, and they keep us going. And so I want to be that for other organizations as well as my own. So I want to be able to focus more on that in 2023 and beyond. So those are my kind of my financial reasonings. I just want to enjoy what I have. I am extremely blessed, and I know that. And I know that I have a lot of things that not a lot of people have, and I take it for granted. And I know that about myself, and I know that about my situation. And so I don't want that to be the case for me anymore. I want to appreciate the things I have. I don't want to be gluttonous, and I don't want to overconsume as a means of overcompensating for something else or as a coping mechanism for something. I want to genuinely be content with what I have and what I'm able to have. And so that's going to be a big mental shift for me, and I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it. I want to make time for more important things. So I spend a lot of time scrolling my phone, whether that be social media or shopping, or, you know, those two for me are kind of linked because social media ads are a really big trigger for my spending. So over the last month, I actually took a social media break, and I was not on Facebook. I was on Instagram kind of towards the end, but I took a really long break, and I noticed that there was far less temptation for me to shop and far less spending temptation. So that's a really big trigger for me. So this year I also will be focusing on spending less time mindlessly scrolling social media, and I will have like limits on my phone so that I can't go over that, or so that it kind of prompts me to think about how much time I'm spending. So I want to have more time to hang out with my daughter and cook meals from scratch and hang out with my chickens, which I love, and just do things that I enjoy doing. So I've also made a list of things that I plan to do instead of shopping or scrolling social media. So I'll get to those in a second. But another thing about this is I've had some people that when I've mentioned that I'm doing this, they're like, well, why don't you just, put a limit, like a dollar amount or something? And I have ADHD, and my brain is wired in such a way that cold turkey works a lot better for me than moderation. If I give myself an inch, I will take a mile. And I know that about myself. And so I put parameters in place for myself that will help to mitigate that and hopefully prevent that from happening. So cold turkey just works better. And I know that it's not like I'm never buying anything this year, because I am going to be buying some things, but it's going to be far less. And that's why I have my hard and fast rules. I've got, certain guidelines in place to help me be successful. So now let's talk about the things I want to do instead of shopping or instead of scrolling social media. I really want to get better at cooking. So I can cook. I can follow a recipe. Like, that's not a problem for me. But I want to kind of learn to enjoy cooking. I want to learn to, just be more creative as a cook and make things that my family enjoys and just take enjoyment in it. Genuinely enjoy what I'm doing, because I like to bake, but I don't like to cook. So I just genuinely want to have fun in the kitchen. So that's my big one. The other thing is, like I said, I like to craft. So I want to make some more time for doing those types of things. Specifically, I want to get better at crocheting. So I know how to crochet, but I want to kind of hone that craft a little bit and branch out in the types of projects that I do and spend more time doing that. Another one I want to spend more time doing is watercolor. So I have all of the supplies to watercolor. I just need to make the time to do it. And I hardly ever do. And I genuinely enjoy watercoloring. So I want to make more time to do that. I want to make that more of a priority. Just creativity in general, whether it's in the kitchen or creating something on paper or crocheting it or whatever. I just want to have time and the mental space to be more creative. So another thing I put on here, which is funny, I put fold laundry. So, and this isn't specific to just laundry. What I mean is I put laundry down because I have this really bad habit of washing a ton of laundry. I wash a load of laundry when my basket is full. So the clothes aren't sitting around dirty, but then they sit around clean in baskets until I have about 12 loads. And then it takes me 2 hours to put them away. And rationally, I know that if I just washed, dried, and folded a load of laundry, whether it be within the same day or like the next day or as it comes out of the dryer, that it would be less of a time commitment overall. And it would be less of a mental load, because then I'm not looking at this giant pile of laundry and getting stressed out about all this laundry I have to fold. But in practice, I haven't been able to find a way to trigger myself to do that. So one of my goals for this year is that I want to minimize my mental load, minimize the clutter, and just do the thing that needs to be done so that I don't have to think about it later. I want to stop procrastinating those types of things. I'm a big procrastinator, and that's something I kind of want to work on. So, and that could also apply to, like, if I'm in the bathroom and I see that the counter needs to be wiped down, just wiping it down right then and there while I'm standing there, instead of letting it be a source of anxiety every time I walk into the bathroom until I think I have enough time to do the whole bathroom. Like, I don't have to do the whole bathroom all at once. If I see that something is dirty, I can just wipe it down really quick and do that. And it's not going to be a big thing. So that's kind of where that thought process was for the folding laundry. It's, taking care of the household things, the household chores that need to be done as they need to be done, instead of putting them off until they're a huge monumental task, and then it's going to take me all day to do it. So the other thing is gardening. I have the supplies to create garden beds. I bought them 2 years ago in 2020 and never used them. So I want to this summer really focus on getting my garden up and going. And I have, like I said, I have backyard chickens. So I've got the compost. I've got the fertilizer I need. And I really want to just kind of focus on getting my backyard garden and I hesitate to say homestead. It's not really a homestead, but like get those backyard projects and my, all of those things up and going and be able to focus on them and keep them going. So, and then also play board games. My daughter loves to play board games. She just turned 7, so she's always asking to play board games. And I want to genuinely like devote time to sitting down with her and my husband and playing games. Because that's something that we have so many board games and we always have fun when we do it. She's at a great age for it. So that's kind of something that I want to focus on as well. And that's all my notes. We got through all of it. But yeah, so now it's out there and I've told you. And I hope that maybe some of this resonated with you. If you're getting ready to do something similar in the coming year, I would love to hear about it. So leave a comment below. And again, if you are interested in following along on this journey, maybe cheering me on, holding me accountable, I welcome you to the community. And I hope that you would subscribe and like this video and kind of hang out with us so we can all do this together. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in 2023. Make sure you stay tuned. I do have my makeup collection videos are still kind of going up. So I wanted to document those items, and I wanted to document what I'm starting with, although I did bring in some new items since I filmed those. So I will do another video to add those. And I think I'm going to actually do an inventory video where I actually write down what my inventory numbers were at the starting point, so I can kind of see the progress that I'm able to make over the year. So that, honestly, doing that kind of scares me too, because then it's like you have a little bit of a come to Jesus with what I've done and what I've collected and what I have. So maybe that'll be good for me. I'll probably do that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.